This is the story of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the U.S. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1809 in a tiny log cabin in Kentucky. His family had very little and moved often, chasing work and land.
You lied!
Life was hard. His mother died when he was just 9, leaving a mark that made him quiet and thoughtful.
When did they come back?
School was sporadic, just a few months here and there, scattered across his early years on the frontier. Most of what he learned he taught himself, reading borrowed books by candlelight whenever he could. That habit of learning on his own stayed with him his entire life. As a young man, Lincoln labored in the fields, split logs, worked in a store, and rode rivers as a boatman. These jobs put him among ordinary people. He listened to their stories, their frustrations, their dreams. People noticed his honesty. They called him Honest Abe. Gradually, he found his way to the law. Studying on his own, he passed the bar and traveled the Illinois circuit, learning how the law touched human lives and how often it failed them. On November 4th, 1842, Abraham Lincoln married Mary Todd. The ceremony took place at the home of Mary's sister, Elizabeth Edwards, in Springfield, Illinois. At the time of their wedding, Lincoln was 33 years old, and Mary was 23. The union produces 4 sons, which 3 later died at early age. Lincoln stepped into politics at a time when the country was fraying. The issue of slavery's expansion tore communities apart. He opposed its growth, believing that freedom for some and bondage for others could not last. In 1858, his debates with Stephen Douglas brought him national attention. He argued that a nation divided over slavery could not stand. His words resonated far beyond Illinois. In 1860, Lincoln won a fiercely contested election. The victory didn't bring cheers, it brought fear. Southern states began to secede, convinced his presidency threatened their way of life. When Lincoln took office in 1861, the nation was already unraveling. He faced a choice: let the country break or fight to preserve it. He chose the Union, not for glory, not for power, but because a divided nation could not survive. The Civil War was brutal. Lincoln had no military training, but he became a wartime leader. He studied strategy, replaced generals who failed, and carried the weight of every decision. Letters from grieving families piled on his desk. Casualties rose. Every day, the presidency became a confrontation with sorrow. He listened, he weighed advice, and he acted, even when it angered the powerful around him. As the war continued, Lincoln saw that saving the Union alone was not enough. Freedom had to be part of the fight. In 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing enslaved people in rebellious states. Later, he fought for the 13th Amendment, aiming to abolish slavery completely. This required delicate negotiations, convincing lawmakers who resisted change. Lincoln understood that progress often comes through patience and persistence. Every decision weighed on him. He visited hospitals, spoke with wounded soldiers, read letters from families who had lost sons. In his second inaugural address, he did not celebrate victory. Instead, he called for healing, with malice toward none, with charity for all. He knew that the real battle was not only on the field, it was in the hearts of a nation torn apart. In April 1865, just days after the war ended, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. The nation mourned. On April 14, 1865, a 3-week series of events was held to mourn the death and memorialize the life of the 16th President of the United States. Funeral services, a procession, and a lying in state were first held in Washington, D.C. Then a funeral train transported Lincoln's remains 1,654 miles, 2,662 kilometers, through 7 states for burial in Springfield, Illinois. Never exceeding 20 miles per hour, the train made several stops in principal cities and state capitals for processions, orations, and additional lyings in state. Many Americans viewed the train along the route and participated in associated ceremonies. Even after death, Abraham Lincoln were troubled. His remains were moved 17 times, and his coffin opened 5 times between 1865 and 1901, due to tomb renovations and a failed 1876 grave robbing attempt. Following a plot to steal his body, he was finally laid to rest in a steel-caged, concrete-encased vault at Oak Ridge Cemetery. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel